Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, Context is Everything Media Network founder and CEO John Michael is reading another textbook cover to cover. And this textbook was written in 1940 and is a Catholic school American history textbook for 5th graders. Chapter 4, New France. Section 2, Early American Saints. 1940 is when this book was made. The first French missionaries. Samuel de Champlain, the governor of New France, was a devout Catholic. It caused him great sorrow when he thought of his Algonquin friends as pagans. Persons who are not Christian are pagans. Governor Champlain wished more than anything else that the Indians might be converted to Christianity. He sent an invitation to the Franciscans in France to come to New France. A little band of Franciscan fathers did come as missionaries, persons who teach others to know and love and serve Christ are missionaries. They do not usually engage in any occupation because all of their time is given to religion. That is why they are often spoken of as religious. Quebec became the center of this missionaries, Quebec became the center from which the missionaries started their journeys. Franciscan Jesuits and Carmelites all labored among the Indians living in New France. I'm just reading the textbook from 1940. New tasks. The missionaries made sacrifices. 1. They gave up the comforts of life in France to live in the wilderness of New France. Unsettled regions are often called the wilderness. 2. They gave up their families and their friends to come among the pagan Indians. 3. It was necessary to learn the languages of the Indians. This was no easy task because each tribe spoke differently. Indian languages were very different from French language. It was very difficult to learn the strange tongue. 4. Missionaries who went into the wilderness found it necessary to prepare and to eat strange foods. Saint Isaac Jogues, S.J. I don't know what the S.J. stands for. The young Jesuit. Among the Jesuits who came to New France was a young Father Isaac Jogues. J-O-G-U-E-S. I'm going to say Jogues because he's French. And that's how they have silent S's, you know. He was sent to New France to labor among the Indians. Father Jogues made Quebec his headquarters just long enough to learn something about the Indian customs and their languages. Father Jogues set out for a Huron village. The priest made a hard trip over 900 miles. It is long. He journeyed by canoes on the lakes and streams. He traveled many weary miles on foot over forest trails. A path across the wild, unsettled regions is called a trail. A living martyr. A living martyr. Father Jogues helped the Hurons in many ways. 1. He visited and cared for the sick. 2. He taught the Hurons the great truths of the Catholic religion. 3. He spent 6 years helping these Indians. Father Jogues hoped to be able to labor among the Iroquois. This tribe was not friendly towards the French. The Iroquois hated anyone who was friendly with the Hurons. Or with the French, for that matter. Father Jogues had a young friend, a doctor. The doctor begged to go with Father Jogues on the mission. The Iroquois captured Father Jogues and his friend, and the Indians killed the doctor. Father Jogues had to suffer great torture from the Iroquois. Torture is a great suffering and pain inflicted by an enemy. The escape. Somehow, Father Juguet escaped. He made his way to the English settlement at Albany. The settlers were very kind to the Jesuit. They sent him to New Amsterdam. Here he was able to get passage on a small ship going to France. The humility of Father Juguet. The missionary was the center of interest in France. People were eager to hear his story. The superiors of Father Juguet requested him to write the story of his experiences with the Indians. The father was a good priest, so he obeyed the Jesuit superior. Their request for his story was fulfilled. This humble priest wrote his story in Latin rather than French. He wished to avoid publicity. He knew that fewer people could read the story if it were written in Latin. People came long distances to honor the Jesuit. They were eager to kiss the hand that had been tortured. The Queen of France is shown in the picture kissing the tortured hands of Father Juguet. Do you want to see the picture? Well, you gotta ask. There it is. There it is. The martyr priest. His superior sent Father Juguet back to Quebec. Yikes. After 2 years, he was again captured by unfriendly Iroquois. Father Juguet died a martyr. A person who dies for their faith is a martyr. This good priest was a martyr and a patriot. He was a pioneer and a patriot as well. He was a pioneer because he moved into lands that were not settled. He was a patriot because he loved and helped his native land. Pioneers and patriots. The name of the book. Father Isaac Juguet and several companions died of Father Juguet and several companions died deaths of martyrs. A chapel has been built on the spot where the martyrs died. Our Holy Father canonized the martyrs in 1929. Holy Father, the Pope. Take that whatever you will. When a person is canonized, it means that the church has declared the person to be a saint. Father Juguet became Saint Isaac Juguet. Lily of the Mohawks. And this is a very short section here. A saintly Indian maiden. An Indian girl was born not long after Father Juguet was martyred. Her name was Catherine Takakwitha, or Kateri. Quite often, she was simply called Lily of the Mohawks. This name fits her well. Her life was good and pure. The lily is the symbol of purity. She belonged to the Mohawk tribe. Catherine was instructed by Jesuit missionaries. She was baptized a Catholic. The story of her life is a beautiful one. She set a noble example by her piety, purity, and faithfulness. That's it. Goodbye. God bless. Have a lovely day, whether a weekend or a weekday.